Hey guys, Tetos here, coming at you with a slightly different video this time of how I got to Diamond. If you don't want to hear anything of the story of how I got to Diamond, I basically go over my 5 games that got me to Diamond in my Diamond promotion, obviously. So if you don't want to hear anything about that, you can skip right to the end of the video, where I have 3 small tips prepared which helped me immensely to gain league points. But before we head into the first game, a little bit of background story. I was a silver player in Season 3, it was the first time I actually played ranked a lot and climbed all the way up to Platinum 2. Then in Season 4, after the placement matches, I hit Platinum 4 again. After that I climbed and fell again up to Platinum 1, back down to Platinum 5, 0 league points, horrible MMR. And then it happened last week again, I made it to the Diamond promotion and I did it. So basically I played a lot of top lane Lulu because I found it the easiest to not really carry myself but help other people carry the game, and usually you have at least one guy who does well on the team. If you don't, then yeah, you're screwed, but you can't win them all, so that's that. I think it's a pretty strong champion still, even at 4.13 after some nerfs in top lane. It's still quite good because yeah, I mean the removed slow isn't that good on the Q, and the the movement speed nerf or duration nerf on the W is not that good either, but it's still quite nice, so that's that. Anyway, first game against Tryndamere, top lane as well, both had teleports, so there wasn't really a lot of kill pressure going on, we just farmed up. Had some ganks here and there, but nothing special, and after some time our Yasuo and Tristana got really fat, but as you know it from solo queue, people always like to throw, and that happened here as well, so nothing out of the ordinary, to be honest. I tried to secure as many objectives as possible. I bought some pink wards, got my Oracle Lens, or my sweeping lens at least, just to help secure Drakes and Baron. And it wasn't really easy to finish the game because they had a split pushing Tryndamere obviously, and the Karthus, which can clear waves extremely easily, so we tried to bait a fight here at Baron, for example, which worked out quite nicely. They didn't face check yet, but we had to engage simply because Leona warded the brush. We got at least their jungler down, which yeah, allowed us to snowball further and further ahead. But as you can see here, for example, Tryndamere split pushing, so I decided to deal with that because I got teleport. Anyway, the most important part about this was just really focusing down the people, tower diving them if possible, which was not easy, but if you're fat enough, like this Yasuo and Tristana were, you can do a lot with just a full AP Lulu as support. Like the good player I am, I was missing my Q here, but at least I dodged that Mumu. Bandage toss, yeah. For example, like this, Tristana goes absolutely ham. It just dies the Nexus turrets, but we still won it in the end. I mean, yeah. First game under the belt was quite the awesome feeling. And I already failed my Diamond promotion twice, so it's not like I was totally new to this, but I really knew that I could still lose everything, so I just tried to keep my cool. I told myself, don't play anymore if you lose a single game, just play the next day, you will be more refreshed and probably not as stressed out. The second game was quite sad to watch because I played Lulu support this time, and I was against a Morgana Kog'Maw lane, which was very difficult to deal with. I mean, I dodged most of the bindings, but Twitch was on a suicide mission most of the time. Still, it was quite gruesome because we were so close to losing so many times, and then we made little comebacks time and time again. We couldn't really save our Nexus, or not in Nexus turrets, but we just couldn't save our inhibitors, and it was looking really bad for us. But then again, we got some kills back and it looked like we had a chance at least. But then Twitch just decided to go absolutely ham at the wrong time. Let me just show you the clip. He's going in stealth, 1v5, he's on a mission. He will come out any second and kill them all, right? No, not really. He gets insta-gipped, and that's how we lost the game. Really nothing we could do. Even without our AD carry, we tried to defend, but in the end it wasn't supposed to be, even though we got a few kills here. It's just against the fat Kog'Maw, against the fat Syndra, against the fat Kha'Zix. There is not a lot you can do, and people keep overextending and you just die. That's why I said it's a painful game. It was really painful, but what can you do? After this game I decided to call it a day and continued playing the next day, and I'm really glad that I did so, because my mind was completely broken by this point. So the third game was quite interesting. I think actually I had a troll in Champion Select, but somebody, I don't know who it was, God bless that guy, dodged the Champion Select, and I had the chance to wait for a few minutes before queuing up again, and then I got this guy, Jungle set, locking in first pick, and I was like already, oh my god, please, please don't do this to me. But somehow we made it work. I mean, at first, as you can see, the enemy Evelynn was completely fed. It was just ridiculous how many kills she got. She was like 6-0, 7-0. But after some, or at some point, we simply were able to pull the game around back in our favor. I mean, still we gave up quite a few kills, but slowly but surely we actually got a quite nice gold lead. We got Baron. We actually were doing quite well. I was doing well. I was split pushing a bit with teleport and had a nice team fight here and there. Still some people were dying, but the final team fight was just beautiful to watch. We already had 2 open inhibitors, so we lost fights, we won fights. It was just a back and forth game all around. It was a really sick game, just very tense for everybody involved, I guess. But finally, in the last team fight, I somehow managed to, I don't know, shield the right person, put my ultimate on the right person. I don't really know what happened. It was really a mess. I mean, it's really difficult to play Lulu in this clustered team fights, because you wanna shield and ult the right person, but it's not that easy. I mean, you can use the icons on the left of your screen, obviously, and you can do other stuff, but yeah, it's not always that easy. I mean, what was also really good is that we played extremely safe. For example, when we got 2 inhibitors, we could have finished maybe, but we were all low health, and the enemy Fizz was up, so he could probably kill us all if he wanted to, and if he played it well, because obviously we didn't have any cooldowns left. But the last team fight was just beautiful to watch. I mean, Zed was our tribute for that fight, and we got a 3-for-1 and decided to just push through, finish the game. For the fourth game, I just got rolled so hard. I played Jack's top lane. I played it against a Rumble main who has like, I don't know, 300 to 400 games on Rumble, and the Shaco main who has like 400 games on Shaco. And they just rolled me so hard. I had no chance whatsoever. I fed pretty hard. I mean, at first I was still confident because I had no kills, and I helped my team a bit to secure some other kills, but after some point they just said no, fuck this game. They just didn't want to play with me anymore, I guess, or something like that, because our Amumu got invaded as well. It was quite sad. Just lost pretty hard, and I don't know what to say. They just surrendered. 4 versus 1. I pressed no because I was in promotion, obviously, but they wanted to surrender. Fine by me, I guess. Still had another chance, but it was just really disappointing game by me, and yeah, let's not do this again. Let's not pick Jax again if I have other choices. But still, what should I have played? I mean, I didn't want to play Renekton. I didn't want to be useless in late game. I didn't want to... I couldn't rather play Lulu because she was picked by the enemy team first pick as, I don't know, mid lane, I guess, or something like that. Yeah, mid lane. So that's that. Couldn't really do anything and just lost the game almost by myself, but Amumu helped me quite a bit there, so it was not just me. So for the last game we had a pretty nice team actually. I had the Rumble I had in the previous game. Even though I lost, I decided to just go with it, go with the last game. Wait a few minutes before queuing though, but it was really, I guess, a coincidence that I had the same guy on the team even though I didn't queue instantly up again. So I played Thresh support, which is my most played champion in Season 4, but I'm not a Thresh god by any means. I just like playing him, and I have an okay win rate, let's say it like this. But still, I did my job quite well. I warded quite intensively, you could say. I usually always, when I play support, try to always ward the jungle, be it the enemy jungle if we are ahead, or be it our own jungle if we are behind. Usually it works out quite well. I try to peel for my carries instead of initiating, because yeah, I just like doing that kinda if my carries are doing well, or if at least one of them is doing well. And also I really like building any support tanky these days, just going for tanky items as much as possible. Even though some of them got nerfed, I still like to build, for example, a Sunfire Cape or Banshee's Wheel if I don't have to build Locket or Mikael's Crucible. Yeah, and this time again it helped me win the game. Let's speed it up a little bit. Just had some nice fights at the end, and yeah, basically had to deal with a full AP Malphite who could kill our carries, but I had a couple of shields here and there, so yeah, somebody at least survived. Not Rumble sadly, but we had 2 other carries, so that's fine. Yeah, and that was the story how I got to Diamond. It was really rewarding, and I don't know what to say. I was just so glad that the grind was finally over. I mean, I guess you could say, oh my god, just keep on playing, go get the Diamond 1 or something like that, but I'm not sure if I will be able to do this. I'm not that good and I don't play that much. I'm satisfied at least for this season. I mean, I will of course keep on playing ranked, but yeah, that was my goal for this season, so I'm glad that I actually reached it already. So for the 3 tips, let's make it short and quick, because the game is already over. We don't want to waste too much time in this victory screen. So for the 3 tips I promised you, first off, disable all chat. Seriously, it's just so unnecessary. I see it like this: anything that's between you and the victory should get disabled as much as possible, and all chat is one of those things. I mean, of course it's fun sometimes to trash talk or to just say GG well played or I don't know what, but usually it just distracts you from the game and you don't need to communicate with the enemy team at all. Just disable it, be done with it, and yeah. Then second tip is disable summoner names, because people have bad games. Just deal with it. You are one of them too. I bet you've had very bad games in the last 10 to 20 games as well, so it's just gonna happen. You can win them all, and even if the guy has a bad game, maybe he was forced into a champion he can't play, or maybe he was forced to play a role he doesn't play usually, so maybe he just had a bad day, who knows. But just keep in mind that not everybody can play to their maximum potential at all times, and even if the guy feeds now and you're mad at him, if you re-queue with him, maybe he has a different game and maybe he carries you, so don't get caught up in summoner names and in Champion Select. If you're in Champion Select and shit hits the fan already, like, oh my god, I just played a game with you, you sucked, then you can either dodge and lose league points or play and probably lose, but this is not necessary. Just disable summoner names and you will gain league points. And the third point I'd like to talk about is stick to as few champions as possible and try to play champions you can actually win with. For example, I played, I think it was over 150 or over 200 Renekton games in Season 3, and I did this because I was actually able to win games by doing this and playing him. And in the current meta, I don't feel like it's actually as easy to carry with him. Either you get counterpicked, which people realized by now, like for example Ryze is very strong against him, or even Lulu or Gragas or Nidalee, who is really strong and not really that much worse in teamfights. You just pick these champions, or even other champions who have a very strong late game, and you just try not to die. And if you make it out alive of laning phase, you just automatically win the game because Renekton really doesn't provide a lot of utility or damage or anything. Crowd control, peeling in teamfights. He's just really bad in 5v5 teamfights, except for soaking up damage. But then why would you pick him? So I realized this and said, okay, let's try not to pick Renekton so much. What can I play? And I found out that I could play and win games by playing Lulu top. And you just need to find your Lulu top, basically. If that's Draven for you, if you can carry games hard as Draven AD carry, just play him, even if he's not super top tier pick. If you can dominate your games as a Mumu jungle, even if he's not that high of a priority pick in Platinum or higher, for example, just play him. He can be very strong. So that was my journey to Diamond. I hope you liked the video. I know it's not the usual kind of league video and probably not many people will watch it to the end or will actually like it probably, but I just wanted to share my story and I had this idea. I mean, I probably won't be satisfied with it as always because it's just this free style video and I'm not a native speaker, so I'm also quite self-conscious about my English skills, even though they might not be so bad after all. But still, that's that, and I just talk too much. I have to cut it here, I guess. Thanks for watching and until next time, bye bye.